What's up and happy Valentine's Day, everyone. For those of you who celebrate it, it's your host with the most, Griever, as always. Bringing you guys a late One Piece review here on Valentine's Day. The reason being, Super Bowl happened on Sunday, so yeah, that was a thing. And Saturday, because Monday, of course, is not actually a stat holiday. You know, it's hard to spend time, especially in my situation, with my loved ones and dear ones and stuff like that. So I used Saturday as our sort of pseudo Valentine's Day with me and my wife. We had a lovely Skype night, a date night, if you will. So that being the case, all weekend sort of busy, as you guys can no doubt tell. I'm a football fan and I love my wife, so is what it is. Now, that being out of the way and all the explanation and stuff that nobody cares about, let's talk One Piece, the next piece of One Piece, chapter 1040, entitled Wasted Words on Young Ears, which is such a worse title than the fan translation, let's just be real. Anyways, we go off on this, and we're still following the cover serial, which thankfully we are into a cover serial, and I enjoy the cover serials because they're actual things that are happening in real time in the story that necessarily we don't need to know, but it adds to the world building so well. I always love the cover serials, and here we're seeing Niji and Yonji. They're just sort of going there like a creature beyond the power of science, like a monster beyond the power of science, realizing that all their German tech and raid suits and stuff, they just can't handle Big Mom. They just can't. Big Mom is a monster. She is a calamity unto herself. She's a natural goddamn disaster, as are all the Yonkos. Except Blackbeard. He got his title by stealing the real Yonko's fruit, so whatever. But anyways, let's not piss off the Blackbeard fanboys today. Let's jump into this chapter because, of course, there's some very interesting stuff, and there is a thing about the translation about one specific thing, as we all know, but there's quite a few things to say. Like, here is the end of one of the big fights, one of the major fights in One Piece history. This fight has been going on for many a chapter. I believe it's been going on longer than even Marineford. That's insanity to me. That's crazy. How great a fight was Nin Raizo versus Fukuroka Juka Juka Jakaju and his Oniwaban self. Like, apparently this is the end of the fight here, and it's the most important thing. Nah, I'm just kidding. Though I am fucking happy that shit is finally going to be over, because nobody really cared. Like, I don't mind Raizo as a character, and I don't mind the whole adding the ninjas into Wano. Where else were you going to put them? It made sense. But they were sort of taking a backseat. One of the things that is a bit of a problem right now in One Piece is a huge oversaturation of characters, and very difficult to make them all relevant, and also to make them all relevant in the way that the fans enjoy, right? Like, Raizo right now is relevant, but we the fans don't really care how his fight goes. When we've got the Supernovas, when we got Rooftop Gang, when we have Law and Zoro and Killer and the other Supernovas and Big Mom and Kaido, we don't really care about the other fights. Realistically. Do you really? Like, it was cool to see Robin turn into a devil and stuff. Yeah, sure. And Frankie versus Sasuke. That was kind of cool. Jinbei, first official fight as a Straw Hat, I would argue is probably the best of all these fights. But realistically, what are we here for? We're here for Commanders versus Straw Hats and Yonko versus Straw Hats. That's what we're here for, right? So, and that's what we got mostly in this chapter, is the end of the fight officially by title card. Big Mom has officially lost, though she says, even in the Viz translation, says, this is not enough to kill me. I think she's down and out of the fight, of course. I think she's heavily injured, probably passed out. But I'm going to say that Big Mom, of course, is defeated. We won't see her for the rest of the arc. Law and Kid have officially managed to defeat Big Mom, albeit with help. There was a lot of things that went into this. This was not a solo victory on Law or Kid, and a lot of people, of course, are saying that Law is carrying the fight. Yes, Law's abilities are incredibly broken, but we knew that long before. We knew that pre-time skip. Law's abilities were seemingly very broken, and they somehow do work on weakened Yonko. They do tend to work on the weakened Big Mom in this way, who was still talking trash and talking shit And these two are down and out after the fight as well. And remember that Big Mom had also been fighting up to this point. That she was fighting on the roof. She had been taking multiple damage from other people. It's just like Luffy versus Kaido. Luffy is not 1v1ing Kaido. That is not what happened. When Kaido inevitably falls to Luffy, I'm assuming here, that is going to be a group effort. People are going to tote that Luffy did it himself, and they would be wrong. Because the stamina and the endurance and everything, everybody put in chip damage on this Mega Boss, as far as I'm concerned. But that's for power scalers to decide, not me. Point of the matter is, pretty good ending to the fight, pretty good chapter overall. Big Mom getting wrecked by re-room ability, by Law, and then Kid using that crazy damn punk, crazy follow-up blasting attack or whatever it was, some crazy laser cannon thingy. And it all works out pretty well. The way I looked at it, Big Mom actually got hit by Hera in a way. It seemed that way to me because of the electrical shock that happened after the fact. But Law seemingly also cut Hera in half from behind. So I'm not 100% sure how exactly that happened. Big Mom, of course, without sound, cannot command. The homies, very detrimental, is being forced down. It also gets sort of another plot point that I hated, that I think the whole fan base hated, and I think Oda listened, because Yamato, the bombs, the whole Kanjuro with the last big hurrah. No. There goes that thing. People are saying that for multiple reasons, that maybe got sucked in, became a homie or some shit. I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm just glad this blob is gone. The whole bombs going off thing, that's all taken care of. That's all done for, right? And once again, the Fukurokuju Jigaju fight versus Raizo is also seemingly over, from what we understand, seemingly over. And I like that Big Mom has this speech which showcases a lot of great paneling here, because what we get is we get to see, okay, here's how Chopper's faring right now, who's falling down off of something, right? Here's Brook and Robin still together, so clearly it was not Brook. Zoro is actually seemingly dead or dying and bleeding out while falling down, laying down on rocks, and as the formation falls, he falls too. So that Grim Reaper stuff, that might be an interpretation. Once again, Enma is the king of hell, so maybe this is as close as Zoro has ever truly come to death. That's definitely insane there. We also have Orochi and Hiyori there. I don't know why that guy's still alive. And I don't know what Hiyori's endgame is. How did she get here? What is she doing? Was she the one to heal up the scabbards? There's still a lot of questions here, but I am glad that we get to see how everybody's faring in this one double spread. And it helps us to know the locations of everyone, because I'm going to assume that we're going to jump back to Luffy versus Kaido next chapter. That's what I'm going to assume. Now that Big Mom has been defeated, the commanders are defeated, who else is really left? And we see the end of the Fukurokuju and Raizo fight. So, realistically, it's Kaido and Luffy. It's their game now. It's their time to shine. Apparently, Zunisha's going to show up as well, which is kind of cool. Now, the big thing here, of course, is the speech that Big Mom says. And honestly, you got to feel for her a little bit. I'm actually going to raise a glass to Big Mom to making a great point. Just really quick. Because this great point is the fact that she says, in both translations, roughly now, she says, now I'm going to pull up the chapter here on Viz.com, and I'm going to pull up this specific page that I'm talking about. What she says as she monologues, as she falls down through the crater and all this stuff, and it's a huge explosion and stuff, she says, "Hey Roger, why do you have to go and say it? You got this whole world in an uproar for a great era of piracy. Easy for you to do. You're dying. But when these kids rose up all over the world, we're the ones who had to deal with them. We're the ones who had to maintain the status quo." And right there, Big Mom makes a good point. He basically inspired a generation of hooligans to come after them. And it was like, easy for you to do. You were dying. What did you care? But now we have to deal with what you started. You died. It's sort of like a parent inspiring their kid to go shoot for the stars, like become the greatest actor in Hollywood, become a great musician, even if the whole world is telling you can't do it. You know, one of those inspirational stories, you know, being the first woman champion boxer, something like that, right? Like $1 Million Baby, except without the horrible, you know, ending. But that kind of idea, Big Mom is complaining, and she's sort of making a good point. I don't know if my parent analogy is well, but it's sort of like a parent dying, giving like the hope to the kid, and then leaving the grandparents to deal with that. You know, it's like easy for you to inspire the 6-year-old when you were dying. Like, it's great for you to die with a good conscience, but we're the one left to pick up the pieces. We have to deal with raising the kids. We're the ones who have to deal with disciplining the kids. And you brought all that on us, and we weren't parents, right? So I feel like Big Mom, I don't know if that analogy sticks very well. I'm going to go about 65% sticks. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. But the fact of the matter is that I think Big Mom makes an excellent point here. Roger was pretty selfish to do that. Now, of course, we have that whole, the guy yelled out from the crowd, but I think that was only in the redone version or whatever. It's like, that's not how it worked. Roger intended to do that, as far as I know from manga canon. And the idea of Big Mom just being pissed off that, look at what you turned the world into, and look at the shit you left us to have to clean up after. You know, in a way, you could argue, well, they're the bad guys, they're evil, they're this, they're that. But you could also argue, look at all the supernovas who are assholes too. Like, look at Kid and Killer's crew, who only had a bigger bounty at pre-time skip because they were tearing stuff down and hurting civilians. Look at all the pirates that we know were evil. Look at all the pirates. The Straw Hats are the exception, not the rule. Pirates are not great people. Yeah, the Marines are corrupt, but the pirates are not great people as a whole. We just meet the good ones, and we follow the good ones, and we like the good ones. There's a lot to say that the piracy is a bad thing. Like, never forget that, right? So the fact that Roger went up there and egged on a bunch of murderers and psychopaths to go out there and try to challenge everything, the status quo, Big Mom makes an excellent point. And I don't think anybody else is going to bring that up, because I did watch King of Lightning and Tekking and a lot of other people's reviews, and no one actually people talk about her speech, but nobody talks about that aspect, that she makes a valid point. I think Roger sort of was sort of like, all right, here's the baby with the shitty diaper. I don't do diapers. Here you go. You guys deal. I'm the daddy, but I don't do diapers. You know, that's she's kind of making a point. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so the rest of the chapter, of course, we have the title card and stuff, that the Emperor of the Sea, Big Mom, versus the New Generation, Law and Kid, and Victor is Eustace, Captain Kidd, and Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. Now, here's the other thing that the translators, between the fan translation and the, of course, the official translation with Viz, is the thing at the end of Big Mom's speech saying, what is the One Piece? Where is it? Does it exist? Even she doesn't truly know, but she's asking what it is, where is it? And she confirms that some of it is in Wano country. Now, people are going to take this verbatim. I don't think that's the case. I like the fan translation better, which basically went some of the secret or some of the mystery surrounding the One Piece, some of the answers are in this country. The Viz translation does something that basically implies that the One Piece is not so much a one piece, but a multiple piece. And I don't like that. I don't think a lot of people like that. I don't think any part of the actual One Piece, the treasure that Roger talked about, is anywhere else other than Laugh Tale. That's where the One Piece resides, in its entirety. Some answers to some of the Void Centuries, some of the mysteries, some poneglyphs, something might be in Wano, sure. But not the One Piece itself. Now, you could argue this is just Big Mom being pissed off and just going like, God damn it, you know. And she's saying this stuff. However, people are going to take this out of context, I feel. And I think Viz sort of screwed this translation up, because that's not really what she was meant to say. And if she was, that leaves us with way more questions than answers in an arc that honestly has a little too many questions without enough answers. Let's be real. Now, we're going to get some answers by the end of this arc, I'm sure, especially post-Wano arc is going to be info dump fire. Remember when we got the Yonko bounties? Yeah, post-Wano is going to top that. I'm totally convinced of that. We'll get Mihawk's bounty, I'm sure. We'll get a bunch of information about the Will of D, about the Void Century, about Zunisha, about Joy Boy, about opening Wano's borders. What did Odin find? What is in Odin's journal? All this stuff. Yamato joining the Straw Hats is almost confirmed, as far as I'm concerned. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen post-Wano, sure. But this is going to just lead a bunch of toxic people in the community to just go batshit crazy. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I've seen people take nuggets of less information and less confirmed stuff and run with it on Twitter for 3 months straight, right? So, yeah. Anyways, Big Mom says that this won't kill her. That's the end of that. And apparently now that Yamato, like the bombs are frozen and everything like that, so that's the defeat. Yamato meets up back with Momonosuke, who says the companion of Joy Boy who committed a crime 800 years ago, Zunisha, is on his way. And it's like, wait a minute. And this is where, so Yamato knows about Zunisha because the elephant from Odin's journal. And now we get the confirmation. Here's another big info drop that was a companion of Joy Boy. So theories abound. I'm not going to make any because everybody's made one by now, right? I'm not going to assume who Joy Boy was or anything like that. Joy Boy clearly existed back in the Void Century. We know that from 800 years ago and committed a crime. Did Zunisha betray Joy Boy? That's probably one of the things. That was the crime. Who knows? People are saying it's the red herring with the devil fruit. The devil fruit had a name. The name is Zunisha to hide the devil fruit, right? So it's not a devil fruit anymore. But some people are saying that's red herring. That Zunisha had nothing to do with the devil fruit. That was Oda just playing the game. Both are very viable possibilities, but we'll have to wait and see. That's chapter 1040 on this fine, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. I thought the chapter was pretty solid myself. It cleaned up some of the fights, and some people weren't really happy with the pacing and stuff, but now we've cleared up the whole bomb thing, the Raizo thing, and Law and Kid versus Big Mom thing. We saw where all the other Straw Hats are at and stuff like that, so pretty much all that's left, all that's realistically left, now that we've cleared up all that, is the Marine Zunisha, like CP0. Well, we have Izo and CP0, but that's probably going to be off-screen. But it's going to be Kaido and Luffy. We've taken care of almost everything else, as far as I remember. But there's a lot going on in this arc, so forgive me if I'm mistaken about that. But we have Zunisha showing up. We have CP0 dealing with Izo. And then we have Luffy and Kaido. So I think this arc is realistically, once again, I said, you know, this year Wano will end, and I said that in my January video about what I want from 2022 in manga. Wano needs to end within the first 6 months of 2022, and that is talking post-Wano, and I think we're going to get there. I think we are. We're only into mid-February, and we're getting to the climax of Wano. I believe that to be true, but what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget the fourth and most important thing, to drink responsibly, as I always do, and we will see you guys back here next time. And if you have a wife, girlfriend, lover, boyfriend, husband, whatever, buy them some flowers. Just buy them some flowers today. You don't need to be super crazy and outlandish and expensive and go to a fancy 5-star restaurant or anything like that. It's the little things that count. Just go buy their favorite chocolate. Go buy them just a couple of roses. You know, go to a local market, just go down and buy them a bouquet. You know, it's 15, 20 bucks, you know, depending on where you live. Maybe cheaper, maybe more expensive. But at the end of the day, those little gestures just will appreciate it, whether, you know, your wallet's hurting or not. Just tell someone, and even if you are not in a committed relationship right now, buy some for your sister, for your mother, for your grandmother, for your dad, for your brother, whatever. Buy something for somebody on Valentine's Day. Let them know, the people that you love in your life, let them know that you care. Just with a little small gesture, that's all it takes. And it's nice for everyone who is not in a committed relationship to still get a little something on Valentine's Day. So, that being said, hope you all enjoyed your lovely Monday. Start off to the week, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.